Hello, this is Krill. About to play turn 93 for PB15. Um, Luckily I am playing this in the morning. So I literally played the last turn, went to bed, woke up and played the next turn. So we're not going... We seem to be swapping between one turn a day and two turns a day whilst we still have wars going on, but the game's still... But it's still moving. It's catching up again with Pit Boss 13. I can't move that warrior. I actually can't. I realistically shouldn't play this turn now. I ought to give Commodore a chance to attack my warrior. What I'm going to do is I'm actually going to leave it there so that if he wants to kill it, he can do. I don't know if he even wants that. Yeah, there's the argument I shouldn't even play this turn, but literally if I don't play it now, I'm going to drag it out all the way to the end. I will need a pause, so I will not be able to play it tonight. I'll have to play it tomorrow morning. And I don't think Commodore cares enough about killing a warrior. If I really wanted to, I'd just move it onto the desert tile. And what that would mean is that, in effect, I'm giving up. I'd basically be saying to him, if you want to kill my warrior, kill it, it's your choice. And he got even fewer defensive bonuses, so he would easily kill that warrior. So I'll wait and see what happens there. The rest, the Empire, what's happening? Thoth's not played either, but that doesn't matter. My borders have expanded. He's already put one turn in. He'll put 2 turns worth of. He might end up putting 3 turns worth of like pasture onto the horse, and then I can just finish it off with 1 turn. I think that I can't remember though if someone else's worker turns put into improving the tile count for you. So I don't know if it takes me 1 turn or 4 turns to improve that horse. We'll wait and see. I hope he's not roading it. That'd just be annoying. Roaded that's easy. Actually cancel all of these. Not you, you still vote. He roads. That worker's going to move down to fort. Novice has finished the camp. Yeah, this turn's nothing. Literally, this turn is nothing special. Just play it quickly. I've not even looked around to see if anything's changed, because frankly it's just not. Just looking at the mini-map, I can see that there's nothing from Thoth here. Again, no change from Pindicator, and Novice is nothing. And you can't see anything towards Thoth there. So it's just that. It's mainly that warrior that I have to figure out what to do with that's fair. Yeah, they all put the fort down, they stay in the city. Yeah, and I'm left with just the warrior to move. I'll go through the cities quickly. Actually, let me check. No wonder's finished. So yeah, going to grow onto that cottage. It's not an amazing tile to work. I would rather work the banana that could be improved. I just don't have ironworking. River grassland cottage, 2 plains cottages. I wouldn't mind working them, but I'm growing the city and I don't have much food surplus. Again, the hills, I'd love to do that, but I just don't have the food until I get iron working. Once I get iron working and improve that banana, it's going to be easy to grow this city. And I will just grow it to the happy cap, which is going to be 12, potentially more, depending on what additional resources I can find or happiness. No, not you. So anyway, here's my big yam doing the spear. That's not going to change. Pyramids. Next turn, I grow without saving only 17 food, I'd need 36 to grow, so I'll need 19 food total. I can make 4, I could work the farm, make 4 food per turn, I think it's, yeah, and grow in 5 turns, or work the ivory and grow in 10. Over those 10 turns, I'd make 30 hammers working the ivory, working the farm, then the Plains Hill. Actually, that's what it's at. Working the farm, and then the Plains Hill, and then the ivory for 6 turns. Oh no, for 5 turns, rather. For 5 turns, I'd make 15. Actually, that would be a better way to do it, wouldn't it? Would be to actually work the farm. So I'll end up doing that. I'll work the farm and grow in 4 turns, and then work both. That's not too bad because I can use work at 8 to mine. Actually, let me figure this out. He pastures. He moves on next turn, and he finishes. He roads. He's got nothing to do for a turn. Would move down to farm that tile, and then they'd both move on to mine the hill. So actually, yeah, I can do that. I can get the mine done in time. Moment 1. Oh, I think I can. This is a bit. Actually, can I? There's a little bit of weird micro I might need to do, I think. Cancel you. Actually, I'm just going to work at 8 on, and just mine. I think that's enough. Just work. Yeah, I'm just going to move work at 8 on mine. That's the simplest way to do it. Is it the best? That's debatable, actually. Work at 9, I can move back down to farm this grassland tile that's almost finished. Being farmed, and then I can move it. I can waste a single turn moving it onto a grass hill or whatever, or yeah, whatever. Which I would actually kind of like a road through those, without going over the river, but that's not entirely necessary. I can move it down to improve some of the mines, the hills over here to mine them, or I can gradually move it over towards say Baron again and whatnot. But there's so many workers down here, I don't need more workers. So I'm actually okay with 10 workers, just using work at 8 to mine that, and then work at 9 maybe farm another tile on a way somewhere else. Work at 7, just finish that farm. Or I move work at 9 and work at 7 to farm that grassland tile, I don't care. So yeah, actually I'll work the farm next turn. Aram collusion. Hammers don't matter, work the cottage. I could work the coast, actually, just to look at the coast. Doesn't change growth to 7. It might change it to 8 though. I need 15. Save 12 over 3, that's 15. Need 34, that's 19. Yeah, it would help. It would save growth to size 9. Not size 9, to size 8 would occur 1 turn sooner. Stuff like that. But I give up the commerce, I don't really want to do that. I want to just grow that cottage. So I'll do that. I have to slave the workboat this turn. On 94, it moves down onto the lake. 95 moves into Do Not Die. 96 does the whale, just to check again that I need a whale done on 96. I grow this on 93. I whip the barracks on 94. Turn 94, I'm making 6 now. I need 3 to grow, so I'll overflow 3. I'll save 11, that's 14. So I'll need 8 to grow. Well, I'm still making 6, so I'll grow So I whip it. Sorry, no, I grow 93. I whip 94, and then I grow 95. So I do need to improve 96. So yes, I have to whip the workboat this turn. Now the question is, what do I not stop working? I stop working the cottage for a turn. Well, not for a turn, but for more than a turn. Um, I will overflow out 25 hammers this way. Next turn I'll make 5, so that's 30 base hammers I'll produce. 30 base hammers going into a settler is actually 30 times 1.6 is 48 hammers. Not shabby. Meaning I need 52 hammers then to finish the settler. I'm making 5 base, so that's again 8 total. So that settler would take me 9 turns to complete. What I can do though is to just dump the overflow into the settler. Work in that mine, and then complete and then use the sheep to grow quickly. That's a possible option. Possible option. I actually need 11 food to grow, so that would mean that I'd be making 4 food, so I'd grow in 3. So then I could work the cottage. That'd mean basically the settler finishes in 12 turns, and I'd put a few hammers into some inconsequential item. So probably put it into a spear so that I could whip that at a moment's notice to defend with, probably. But yeah, that's what I'll do. I think I'm going to do that. Because the other point is that if I really, really want to, once I finish... I mean, if you look at the time it takes me to finish the Great Scientist, I don't necessarily have to build that settler. I could just whip it. Well, actually, I would only need to one-pop whip it, really. Okay, I just need to put in an additional turn and I could one-pop whip that settler. When the Great Scientist is finished, that would mean that I'd still get it. I'd get it a little bit earlier. And I could still go back to growing. So there's a few ways to do that. But I actually like this way of getting the settler out because I don't have many cities that have produced an awful lot of hammers that I'm not focusing on growing right now. It's like I said, I can whip the Scarab Ward, but here to my big, I need to build spears. Well, I need to build a few spears, and it is growing slowly now, but I do want to grow it. Oh, I do want to get a library in here fairly shortly, so I can work a few scientists. If I get representation, that's a definite thing I want to do. I must do that. But even without representation, I want the culture, and there's going to be enough food there that I can afford to do that and still work those few hills. As said, this is a bit of a jack of all trades city. It's not amazing at producing any one thing, but if I can get a few beakers out of there, I'd like to do that. So I'd rather build a library than a settler if I can get away with it. Even though I could build one settler, I don't mind building one settler, but I don't want to build like 4 settlers from that city. Yeah, I could. Yeah, as you said, I'd settler from Scarab Ward. I don't want to build any settlers in Got the Reset. I want to focus on growing that, building pyramids in Rajadonga. Aram Collusion could, theoretically speaking, do it. Even now, I could stop working cottages, make 10 hammers per turn easily. That's 16 plus a little bit of food. I could actually do 5-turn settlers there. But I'd rather... this city, I think, needs to grow just a little bit. It's working a few useful tiles. I also want population there, same as I want population Saybaron again, to whip in case of a war. And I also can work scientists here, so I would like to grow this to a few more pop sizes just to work that. So it's got flexibility so it can work scientists or it doesn't have to. It's got to be said, I could easily give up the sheep and the cottage back to Saybaron again and work 2 scientists here when that scientist completes. But I've also got potentially 2 hills I'd like to work as well. So yeah, as I said, there's enough good tiles there to work that I want to grow the pop now. Yeah, I've worked the workboat. I could work those tiles in a few turns, but I'll do the workboat, overflow into the settler. I might grow. Actually, I might grow because I don't. Because 3 turn delay on ARAM collusion. I actually can move off the sheep and onto the hill. That's not ideal, but it's okay. I'd make I'd only make 9 hammers per turn though, so it's not a great size to leave the city at to make. So it's not a great like layout to leave the city to produce settlers. So I'd want to build something else, but there's not much else to build. So that's the downside to going to say Baron again now. I have to say Baron again. Scarrowwood, as I said, I can grow and whip settlers here. That's fine. I should get that horse shortly. Going to whip the barracks next turn. We grow to size 2. I'll work the whale. Then all I need to do is to time the what is it? I'll whip it on 94, so it'll buzz up 105. So I need the workboat by turn 100. I need it finished end of turn 103 to move on 104, and then what is it? No, and pop end of turn 105. So no, it needs to finish it on 100. Pop 103 end of 103. So 104 it moves. Is it? It's too early in the morning. No, finish at 104. Then I can move it on 105 and leave it there. And then 106 when it's available, I can improve that. So 104. So I think I can do it just by building the workboat here. What is it? No. So save 5. So 93, 94. So on 95, I already have 5 in. So it'll be 6 hammers, then it'll be 8 and 10, so that's 3. Because I basically grow about every 2 turns and then work these, and then I grow onto the hills. I think I can get it done. I don't care. It's too early in the morning. I'm not doing any more work for that. And this is fine, and El Carry is fine. The road onto the gold is finished. I don't need to actually move the work. I don't need to move worker 5 onto the Plains Hill. Don't have to do that at all. These workers will finish that fortification on time. I can leave worker 5 to chop, just to actually chop that forest on the gold. Don't think I'm going to do that. Well, actually, no. I think I will do that. I think I'll leave it on that. No, I won't. And the reason I won't is because I'm paying, oh no, I'm no longer paying unit supply. Screw it. Don't care. Don't care at all. Because borders popped, I'm no longer paying unit supply. So for the worker 10. So I don't care about that. So that's the entire turn pretty much done. I'll just get rid of some signs, and that's pretty much the entire turn played. I said no one's gone for the Great Wall. It's just gradually getting built. It's like I mean, if not someone were to finish at the end of this turn and I get 28 gold, I wouldn't care. I mean, the gold's not that much, but it's almost half a turn's worth of research, 100% research rather than break even, which might be the difference to me between getting currency like 2 turns sooner, which again compounds through the extra trade route, which is going to be worth a fair chunk, which is worth like what, an additional 16 commerce total going through multipliers again. So it's not too bad. If I get if I get it, it is going to be quite nice just for the extra great general points as I'm playing an imperialistic leader. Then again, if I get that, I don't think many people would want to declare war on me, because they don't want me to use it. 2 forests, so I only need to get this to 90 hammers, which means I only need 62 more. So that's actually only 9 more turns, and then as long as I can get the workers in position to chop, which should not be a problem. For one forest, it's definitely not a problem. The other one could be, because I've got no workers in position, but I've got so many. I've got the 2 workers up at ARAM collision, so I can gradually move them down. I rotate them around so they'll end up improving towards the Scarrow Ward. All the workers at Scarrow Ward will move down to do the sugar tile, and then I can easily split them up to might split one of them off to go and chop that cottage. Even if I just waste a turn moving it onto the jungle, I wouldn't care about that. So yeah, I think that's the turn. I'm just going to take. There's not many good screenshots to take. But that's a worthwhile one to take. And then what do I do with this? The reason what we always say that you shouldn't double move is so that you give somebody the opportunity to declare war on you, to take advantage of something. And that's why I can't double move this. I actually shouldn't play this turn, but obviously none of what I've done is at all relevant to this little bit here. What I'm going to do is because it makes no difference to me anymore, to this warrior. It's like I could have deleted it last turn. That's perfectly legit. As it is, I've actually paid upkeep for that warrior. So that's keeping it a lot. So not deleting it was probably a bad thing. What I'm going to do is I'm going to move it onto the desert, because I'm still giving Commodore the opportunity. Still giving Commodore the opportunity to kill it. He will still get the great general points. He'll still benefit from it. And it means that I can just end turns so the game keeps on moving. There is an argument though that I should just leave it there, because depending on the odds you would get different amount of general points, great general points. If it was early in the game though, it wouldn't matter so much, because there's no way. If it was turn 20 and it was like, oh, I can take his work, and I decide not to, then moving away is not a bad thing, because one, it would keep the game moving, and two, you're not being aggressive, even if he couldn't. So you're helping somebody else rather than detracting from them. So there's less. So it's like less bad sort of thing. But I'm going to just move on to the desert and leave it there. And as you see, there is an axe. I'm going to give Commodore the option to kill it now. So I've given him that option, so he can do it. He'll know from the direction it's facing that that if I had double moved him, I could have taken his worker. But he'll just kill it. I think he'll kill it now if he's got the axe in that position. So that's up to him. Let's go and take the demographic shot. The only difference between crop yield between first and second was 2 points. This will change. I'll gain 2. None there. 5 when I work that. None there. None there. 8 when I work that farm next turn. That's going to get whipped, so it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. There's nothing there, so 8. So I'm still growing. Growing okay. Let's just check quickly to see. I've got 1 city more than Novice. 1 city more than Thoth. Same cities as Scooter, but I think that his tech choices are much worse. Same number of cities as Sadoa. A lot more than 3 more than Pindicator, and then Commodore, interestingly enough, I've only got 2 more. I think I was the only person there with calendar resources though, right? All that I could tell. Yeah, so I've got a decent amount of, I've got a fair chunk of tech. I've invested those speakers into a tech that will give me more pop points. So you see other people stuck at size 6 and 7, whereas my cities are actually growing higher now. Well, not really, not that much. Only 7. Well, it's going to be 8 and 9 shortly. That can grow a bit higher as well, but it's not as high as it could be. Let's look at F8 quickly. Yeah, world population, Thoth's pretty much the same, and Novice has slightly more land. So if I just count pop points, 4, 10, 21, 33, 38 that I can see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So yeah, 38. I have 8, 14, 21, 23, 29, 33, 36, 37. So yeah, he's got slightly, ever so slightly more pop than me, despite having one less city, because he settled his cities about 6, 7 turns earlier than I did. But as I said, that should be changing shortly. Anyway, that's the turn played. I'm not going to be able to play another turn tonight, even if there's one available. So I'll be back tomorrow morning, I think, to play another. To play another game. Unfortunately, it looks like this stream's also been having a lot of drop frames. I think there's something wrong with the internet, so I'll need to be looking at the router if I have time later today. I somewhat doubt it. I'll just so instead of me porting over the stream from Twitch, I'll just upload the video again. So yeah, I'm sorry if the stream's been bad, but the YouTube video should be significantly better than that. Anyway, I hope everyone has a good day.